Major crash incoming for Dogecoin. At least that's what you may think if you listened to the media. Let's go and take a look at some of this craziness from the media. This one from FX Street. Dogecoin price prediction 0.02 by 2023. Even in this article, they said they think it could go as low as 0.01. So we're talking about a fall of like 70% or more for Dogecoin. That's what this article is predicting right here. Then we have, by the way, I'll show you why there's like a big point of, oh wow, that's crazy when it comes to that article specifically. But take a look at this as well. Data shows Bitcoin and altcoins at risk of 20% drop to new yearly lows. Then this one right here, 3 reasons why Bitcoin price bottom is not in. Bearish sentiment across the market from a lot of people in the media, multiple different sources, multiple different outlets, similar sentiment. People saying we could see a big drop in crypto. Even some outlets saying Dogecoin could go down as low as 1 penny. So crazy, crazy stuff coming in. Now first, let's go ahead and unwrap this article here. Dogecoin is going to go down to 0.02 by the end of the year. Oh my gosh. I mean, just a lot to unpack here. So first of all, that would assume that we have no major catalyst for Dogecoin. Dogecoin doesn't happen. We don't have the Dogecoin moon landing. We don't have any of the big things that are coming. The Dogecoin Ethereum bridge, which is scheduled soon, that doesn't happen. A couple other big things for Dogecoin that are being worked on behind the scenes, none of those happen. All the energy of the market, there's no energy around the end of the year, which oftentimes we do see. If all of that happens, even still, the chances of it going down to that price are extremely, extremely, extremely small. One thing this guy fails to realize is that you actually have to have people who are able to sell large amounts in the top to be able to have something like that even be possible. And when it comes to a lot of those whales, they have tokens in their wallet, or coins in their wallet, Dogecoin in their wallet, that they've not touched in a very long time. Some of those wallets are inactive. So there's automatically a floor of Dogecoin based on that, of a lot of older users. And by older, I mean, they don't necessarily have to be old individuals. They could be young people, but older users, people who got in really early and now no longer have access to their wallets. That's a huge chunk of Dogecoin. More so with Dogecoin is that true than pretty much any of the new projects today, especially, and a lot of the older projects as well. Dogecoin has a pretty strong floor in regards to that, so it already has a very, very, very low chance of falling, but this is just ridiculous. I mean, I don't even know what the heck this guy's doing. You know what we have to do? It's time. We have to bring back the roast music. It is time to bring it out. Let me go ahead and pull this up here, because we have to roast this man. Let's go ahead and take a look. Who the heck is this? Tony M, writing one of the most ridiculous articles I've seen in a while. Now, first of all, Tony, you flip-flop back and forth. Sometimes you say it's bullish, sometimes you say it's bearish. What the heck are you even doing, buddy? Same person who said Dogecoin was going to be going up not that long ago. So what the heck's going on here? Tony, they say begin investing in cryptocurrencies in 2017. Well, I have to imagine you probably didn't invest in any of the ones that went up. You probably invested in the ones that went down because you don't know what the heck you're doing. Trading style, it says, incorporates Elliott wave, auction market theory, and Fibonacci and price action as the cornerstones of this technical analysis. Well, the only Elliott wave that should be going on here is you Elliott waving bye-bye to your career, because no one in their right mind would believe Dogecoin was going to go down to 1 cent by the end of the year. It doesn't even make any sense. That's not even something that you shouldn't even legally, I mean, how are you even legally allowed to say something that ridiculous? I mean, come on. Like we have a way higher chance of Dogecoin going to $1 than we do of Dogecoin going to 1 cent, and that's actually arguably a higher than 50% chance that it will go over $1 because of the moon landing, which is still expected to happen this year. Now, Elon Musk did just say during his T-Mobile update that right now, when it comes to Dogecoin integration and when it comes to that, they're working on a lot of cool stuff with satellites. They're working on a lot of cool stuff with connection across the globe for cell service with T-Mobile. All of that can be incorporated with Dogecoin, but they did also say that they may put in some smaller satellites into orbit using the Falcon 9, smaller versions of those connectivity satellites, which suggests they are still a little bit away from being able to reach that level with Starship itself. Once they reach orbit, though, they're going to be able to go to the moon. It's just that simple. They're not going to be far away from that. So all they have to do is reach orbit first, and then we're going to see the moon mission pretty soon after. Elon Musk is very, very, very fast with how he does that. So it's still absolutely possible they can get it done by the end of the year. But just in case it doesn't happen, it's still going to be the case that Elon Musk puts Dogecoin on the moon. We may just have to wait a little bit longer. Hopefully that won't happen. I'm still on the optimistic side. I think he can get it done. They're already so close. You saw the rocket landing. If you can make a rocket land, there's already been other rockets that have gone to space. Of course, Starship is going to be capable of that with the incredible team behind it. So that's one exciting thing there. But back to the roast here. Let me go ahead and get to the heat of the roast music. Come on, Elliot. What the heck are you doing? Or Elliot Wave. Come on, Tony. Look at this. In 2021, he founded the Crypto Bootcamp Challenge, a 90-minute seminar and challenge aimed for informing and onboarding new members into the cryptocurrency ecosystem. Well, you know what? The type of camp you should be starting is one to educate yourself on simple common sense. Because what the heck? Common sense will tell you Dogecoin's not going to fall to 1 cent. There's essentially an impossibility of that happening. Technically, I hate to even say it, technically, let's say like a meteorite hits Earth. Okay, sure, Dogecoin could hit on under 1 cent, but short of that, like a meteorite hits Elon Musk directly. I mean, what could possibly happen? By the way, I hope that doesn't happen. Elon Musk, make sure to protect yourself from meteorites. But of course, if that happened, we all know who really did it. Thanks, CIA. We all know who really did it. Elon Musk. He better stay alive. We need this man on Earth. We need him to stay alive. I'm sure a lot of people who are in the powerful positions in the world probably don't want him to be, but I think he will be. I mean, I think he's too integral. He's too big of a part of civilization. He's too big of a part of moving us forward. We really need to protect him at all costs and make sure he stays that way. But this ridiculousness is, I think, something we can move on from now. We've talked about it enough. We roasted him. Hopefully he'll see it. He probably will, and then he'll see how silly his ways of old were, and hopefully come around and be on the Dogecoin train. That's what we want. Come to the Doge side. Data shows Bitcoin, though, and we'll analyze a couple of these other articles too. This one about Bitcoin. Data shows Bitcoin and altcoins at risk of 20% drop to new yearly lows. So, new yearly lows for Bitcoin. Let's go and take a look. Some of these analytics are actually pretty interesting. So, as you know, I talked about this previously. Maybe you're hearing for the first time. Regardless of which of those it is, this is still important to talk about. Bitcoin has now broken down out of the wedge pattern. It has broken out. And so because of that, we do have a higher chance of a 20% or so drop than we did before. Doesn't mean it's inevitable. In fact, it's definitely not. But this does increase the chances of a correction right now. Is it going to be Dogecoin going down to 1 cent? Come on. No, not even 2 cents. If Dogecoin goes below 5 cents, it's going to almost certainly bounce back pretty dang fast, as I've continued to predict. That is the exact thing you should expect. And if it doesn't happen, then, well, if it doesn't happen, then I guess that would be one of the only times that we predicted something and it didn't happen. I mean, I'm not trying to sound arrogant. It's true. We predict things, they happen. Why? Because we put a ton of time and effort into it. It's not like we just get lucky. Effort, metrics, stats. I look at pretty much every single chart possible. When it comes to that, I totally nerd out on charts. Yeah, I can throw a football, but I like charts more. So I when it comes to nerd or athlete, I like the nerd side more. I definitely, I think that's the place to be. But still, it's fun. It's helpful. You actually can learn stuff and make money. You're not going to make money throwing a football unless you're the best in the world. You're just not. I mean, if you're one of the 30 best people in the world at that, or even one of the 60 best people, you can probably make some money from it. But besides that, good luck making money. You're not going to be able to, unfortunately. That certainly will be nice. I mean, Matt Wallace to the NFL, draft me, and then I'll accept my salary in Dogecoin. That sounds good. How about that? Take a look at this. This is pretty important as well. So you can see this is fear and greed index. We have more people that are bullish than we did last month. Last month in June, a lot of fear, not a lot of bullish energy, which is oftentimes the time you want to consider buying. Once again, it proved to be true, because then once it shifts over to energy, as that happens, you will see the price often increase. So when it's at the highest level of fear you can possibly see, fear level of 10, you know it can't possibly go down too much further, at least at that point in time. So that's why it's an important signal that a lot of people would read the opposite way. But that's how you know if you know how to read the chart or not. I'm sure Tony would probably read that the opposite way. He doesn't get it, unfortunately. Tony, come on. Who knows? Maybe we'll get Tony. Maybe Tony will come around. Maybe he'll be on the Dogecoin train soon. He'll watch this. He'll join. He needs to go ahead and hop on the train, please. But take a look at this. You can also see here's a bullish signal. We do have one bullish thing to talk about today, which is this. In Asian markets, this one having large exposure to China, we're seeing a pretty big parallel between Tether on peer-to-peer versus USD, CNY. Asia-based peer-to-peer markets, it says, have reached their highest level in 2 months, currently at a 0.0 or a 0.5% discount. However, this index remains under the neutral to bearish range, signaling low demand for retail buying. So overall, it's not like a big positive, but it is showing neutral. It is showing we're not at a risk of that heavy of a fall. So the 20%, this is why, even though technically the chart shows a 20% downfall possible, this indication shows the exact, well, not the opposite, but it shows neutral. It shows it's not going up or down for at least the short-term period here. As you can see, excessive demands, look at this. So it went down to 98.4 and even below that in terms of percent. That's basically how much you can get Tether for. So people are able to get a discount on Tether. That's interesting. I mean, you don't typically see that. Tether's supposed to be worth $1, but when there's so much volume on it at one time, then it can create a temporary market maker incident where it causes the price to show something different. Now, this is not like UST where it's directly based off of Luna and potentially has some nefarious players behind what happened there, but it is still somewhat similar. It's just the difference is it's backed by assets for the most part that are not really that, I mean, some of them are risky, some of them are not that risky. So that's why I think it's a little bit more protected, even though still, I don't necessarily want, like, you have to be careful with what stablecoin you choose because you want your assets to be invested in things that you believe in. If, for example, you're choosing a stablecoin that's run by a government of China or something like that, then at that point, you're helping them have more capital. And so you have to be really careful with what you pick. You want to